you. Good morning, everyone, and thanks to all of you for coming and to JC for organizing this. It's a real honor to address this distinguished audience on an issue that I believe sits at the crossroads of trade security, manufacturing and an investment in it, and the enduring relationship between two of the world's strongest allies, the United States and Japan. And that's the proposed acquisition by Nippon Steel of U.S. Steel. Just about a year ago, Nippon Steel offered to acquire U.S. Steel and make substantial investments in the company to ensure its future. However, the deal encountered political opposition, including from President Biden, Kamala Harris, and Donald Trump, in large part because U.S. Steel is based in Pennsylvania, which of course is a critical electoral swing state. But before the election, Biden pushed the deal out of politics and into the hands of something called the Committee on Foreign Investment in the U.S., known as CFIUS, for review, a review to be completed after the election based on national security considerations. The review is scheduled to be finished before Christmas, and if the deal passes muster with CFIUS, as it almost certainly will, it will move to President Biden for a decision within 15 days on whether he'll allow it to go through. However, just this past Monday, for the first time since the election, President-elect Trump restated his intent to block the deal. As he wrote on Truth Social, quote, "I am totally against the once great and powerful U.S. Steel being bought by a foreign company, in this case, Nippon Steel of Japan. Through a series of tax incentives and tariffs, we will make U.S. Steel strong and great again, and it will happen fast. As president, I will block this deal from happening. Buyer beware," with 3 exclamation points at the end. Now, what those tax incentives and tariffs he references will be remains murky, and the likelihood of any success from them even murkier. Moreover, it seems Trump may be hard-pressed to find a way to retroactively block a deal that may have already been approved by Biden and signed and sealed before Trump takes office. I believe Trump's opposition, and that of Biden, at least previously, has been unfortunate and unfounded. The deal should not be about foreign ownership. It should be about responsible ownership, as well as the broader benefits it represents as a critical opportunity, not just for the two companies involved, but for the U.S.-Japan alliance, for our shared economic interests, and for our collective ability to compete in an increasingly challenging global environment, especially in the face of China's growing influence. Now, some of the opponents of the deal have cited national security as a rationale for opposition, but this position just doesn't stand up to scrutiny. Let's remember that a strong steel industry is essential to national security, and the integration of Nippon Steel's advanced technologies into U.S. Steel's facilities would modernize and revitalize aging mills, ensure their longevity and capability to meet critical national defense and security needs. In fact, Wilbur Ross, who served in the first Trump administration as Commerce Secretary and who actually once was a CEO in the U.S. steel industry, has offered his strong support for the deal, citing its potential to create synergies and strengthen America's industrial base. Indeed, blocking this deal would actually undermine American security. It would weaken U.S. Steel, delay critical modernization, and leave us less competitive in the face of China's rapid advancements in steel production. And those advancements have been significant. In 2023, China accounted for 54% of global steel production, an amount large enough to pose a direct challenge to the interests of both the United States and Japan. By fostering collaboration between Nippon Steel and U.S. Steel, we can strengthen the ability of allied nations to counter China's growing global dominance in the industry. The deal is also consistent with President Biden's foreign policy initiative toward the Indo-Pacific, his so-called Indo-Pacific strategy, one which emphasizes the U.S.-Japan alliance as the cornerstone of regional security and stability. That strategy, by the way, was a direct outgrowth of policies developed and implemented by the first Trump administration. Nippon Steel's proposal represents a tangible step in reinforcing policies toward the Indo-Pacific that both Biden and Trump have supported. And that's because it will deepen economic ties and ensure resilience in critical supply chains. The United States and Japan share a long, close, and vital strategic relationship, rooted in economic interdependence, mutual values, and common strategic goals. Among other things, Japan is already the largest foreign direct investor in the U.S., with investments totaling close to $800 billion in 2023. And the U.S. remains the largest foreign direct investor in Japan, accounting for almost a quarter of the total of that country. These economic ties not only create jobs and drive innovation, but also enhance mutual security by solidifying the industrial foundations essential for defense and infrastructure. The Nippon Steel-U.S. Steel deal exemplifies this partnership. It's also an important demonstration of what is called friendshoring, which means building resilient supply chains among trusted allies to reduce reliance on adversaries like China, a country that increasingly weaponizes its dominance in critical industries from steel to rare earth minerals, which was just demonstrated earlier this week when Beijing banned the export of certain minerals to the U.S. that have widespread military applications. Meanwhile, the direct economic benefits of the deal will be substantial. Nippon Steel is a global leader in innovation, renowned for its advanced technologies that minimize emissions and efficiently and cost-effectively produce high-quality steel. Its investment would create jobs, sustain existing ones, and inject new life into communities reliant on U.S. Steel's operations. And that's why union steelworkers at U.S. Steel's Irvin plant in Pennsylvania have been in Washington this week lobbying the Biden administration to approve the deal. As CFIUS completes its review, it's critical that leaders in Washington recognize the merits of the acquisition. President Biden should act decisively and allow it to proceed. Doing so will send a clear message that the United States values its allies, understands the importance of economic cooperation, and is prepared to lead in countering global challenges like China's rise. Blocking the deal, on the other hand, risks alienating a trusted partner and undercutting our alliance with Japan. The Nippon Steel acquisition of U.S. Steel is well more than just a business transaction. It's a symbol of the strength of the U.S.-Japan alliance, a strategic move to secure our shared futures, and a critical step in countering the economic and geopolitical challenges posed by China. Thank you. Turn it over to our